mini Mathletes. So glad to have you back for our next math challenge that we're going to be going over this week. Now, when we think of math, a lot of times we think of different numbers. But what if I told you that math also involves shapes and recognizing those shapes? So we have a perfect story that we're going to read today that's going to illustrate that for us, called The Shape of Things by Dale Ann Dodds. And as we go through our story, we're going to see how many shapes we can recognize and maybe think of places that we go where we can spot all different types of shapes. So if you're ready to get started, we'll read our book and see what some of those things might actually be. A square is just a square until you add a roof, 2 windows and a door, and then it is so much more. And there's our square. A circle is just a circle until you add some lights. Chairs high and low, round and round they go. And there's our circle. A triangle is just a triangle until you add another, an ocean and a sky, a seagull passing by. A rectangle is just a rectangle until you add some more, an engine and a track, a red caboose in the back. There's our rectangle. Ooh, this one's harder. An oval is just an oval until you add a nest, a wooden house, and then a painted mother hen. There we go. There's our oval. A diamond is just a diamond until you add a string, wind, and a tail, some friends to help it sail. Right over here. A shape is just a shape, but look again and see. There are shapes of every kind. How many can you find? As we look through this last picture, see all the different shapes that you can spot. So what we want to try to do is think about all the different shapes we can see as we go outside. Maybe take a walk, or if you're in the car driving around, the challenge is to see what shapes you can identify. Now, I was thinking about one of our favorite things this time of year would be a snowman. Now, some of us may even know the song Frosty the Snowman, but think about a snowman and what he looks like. Just close your eyes and think for a minute. Is he made up of a bunch of different shapes, all of which we learned about here in our book? Well, let's see if we can make a snowman of all of the shapes that we just learned. All right, friends. Now, if we think about a snowman, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Do we think of circles? Some are larger and some are smaller. Well, that's what I think of. So let's see if we can start to build our snowman out of some circles. So there's a large one. And here's one that's maybe just a little smaller. And there's another circle for his head. Does that look like a snowman to you? I think so. And what we have is larger to smaller circles. Now, what's another thing we think about when we think about a snowman? Do we think about his hat? What shapes might that be? The bottom of his hat would be about the shape of a rectangle. So let's put that here. And the top part of the hat, is that like a square? There we go. Now he has a hat. But what else does he need? Does he need eyes and a nose? We think about the nose of a snowman. We usually think of a carrot, right? Well, what's maybe an approximate shape for a carrot? Could it be a triangle? Let's see if we have a triangle that might match for a nose. There. What about that? Now he needs eyes, doesn't he? Well, when I think of eyes, I usually think of circles, but sometimes they talk about that being made out of coal, which is almost the shape of what? A diamond. So let's give him 2 little diamond eyes here, just like that. Now, he looks a little cold, doesn't he? Maybe he needs to have a scarf. What shape do we think a scarf might look like? What about an oval, just like this? Let's see if we put part of a scarf down here, just like that, and another oval, maybe makes the other end of his scarf, just like that. Now he looks a little warm. So we can see all of the shapes that made up our snowman, from circles to rectangles, squares, triangles, diamonds, and lastly, ovals. So I hope you've had fun with me today, thinking about some different shapes that you can see in the world around you. Until next week, mini mathletes, bye now.